You are entering a safe space. Please take a moment to center yourself and allow every thought, worry, and care to fall away right now. Focus on taking deep breaths and allow yourself to feel the healing freedom that is waiting to be ignited within you. Welcome to the Loud Whisper Reignite Your Voice podcast. This is your healing space, providing you with hope and inspiration as you become more connected to yourself. Your safe vessel, helping you move to a higher consciousness to reignite your voice and discover who you are destined to be really inside you. I am Isabel Draughon, your host. I am also an author, entrepreneur, and a life transformation and spiritual coach. Most importantly, I am a perpetual student of life, just like you. So let's explore together. Claim what is already inside you. Welcome to the Loud Whisper Reignite Your Voice podcast. This is your healing space, and I am your host, Isabel Draughon. This is your health and wellness podcast where we talk about everything humanity, mind, body, and spirit. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited that you're here. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button and share with all your friends and family so they can join us on this journey of self-discovery and becoming our best self. Today, I want to talk about faith and letting go. Faith and letting go. I'll start by telling you something really interesting happened to me last week. One of my girlfriends turned 50, and she was having her 50th birthday party celebration, if you want to call it, because I don't even think we party when we're like almost 50. Yeah. Do we party? No, we celebrate. Okay. Yeah, we celebrate. I don't think we party. I don't think we can handle partying anymore. So anyway, she was having a 50th celebration in Morocco. So she sent me a message. I'm having my celebration in Morocco. I'd love for you to join me. Oh, okay, great. Extremely excited. So excited to go. Got my things together, packed up. And there I was on my way to Morocco. First time ever. I'd never been to Morocco before. I was really excited to go there. But most importantly, I was just really excited to go there and celebrate, celebrate her birthday. But you know how life is, right? Life has its turns. Life has a way of being funny. And you guys know that. On my way to Morocco, I get to the airport. After a long trip, we're waiting at the airport, landed. Everybody got their luggage. Guess what? Mine was nowhere to be found. So, I'm like, okay. So it was me and a couple other people. I think I flew in from Toronto. So it was me and couple people who were like, oh, you didn't get our luggage. I'm like, okay, I didn't get my luggage. We were there for a little bit. She and her husband had flown and, long layovers. So we're like, okay. I was like, you know what, guys, I'll just come tomorrow and find the suitcase because we're all exhausted. Tomorrow came. They said, come to the airport. No suitcase. You heard that right. No suitcase. I'm in Morocco, packed my stuff up. You know how it is. As women, you're like, let me put my stuff together. And with what I do, I was ready. I had my outfits ready for her night. Everything was put together. I had my outfits ready for like my content. I mean, you're in Morocco. And with what I do, what better place is there to take content? I had my outfits ready, my toiletries, just everything, guys, everything that I thought made me. everything that I needed to put Isabel together so Isabel can show up the way Isabel is supposed to show up. No suitcase. Let me tell you what was so interesting. I didn't even complain. Was I disappointed? Yes. But I told myself, I am here. I'm celebrating her. And I'm going to flow. I mean, I was flowing. We're laughing, having a good time. They were looking at me like, oh my goodness, how are you doing this, girl? Like, she was like, if it was me, this birthday would have been over. And we would laugh about that. And I remember the other friend, Anna, was like, Isabel, man, I would have flipped. The truth is the old me would have flipped. The truth is the Isabel of maybe beginning of 2024 would have flipped. I promise you I would have flipped because it didn't make any sense. I mean, I'm in Morocco. I have my outfits together. We're going to take photos. I want to have great photos. I want to be able to create content. I want, as I mentioned earlier, everything that made me, God stripped away from me. Everything. I had nothing. And what was fascinating is normally when I travel, right, you have a hand luggage. For whatever reason, this time I'm like, I have this big suitcase. I put everything in there. I did. I put everything in there. I have this big suitcase, so I'll put everything in there. And Lord behold, the suitcase got lost. What was interesting is, so my girlfriend, Sarah, who it was her birthday, she says, God really loves you. I said, why? She said, me and her, we're pretty much the same size. She said, I was packing extra clothes. I was wondering why. She's like, well, put this on here. The crazy thing about it, I didn't even think to say, go to the store and buy new clothes. Like, I didn't even think about that. I was so at peace. I can't even explain it. It's like I told Sarah, I said, I felt like God's unwavering protection was right over me. I hear people all the time that say, I felt God's presence. I felt God's presence. I'm telling you guys, I felt God's presence over me when I was in Morocco. Because the way I showed up, the way I acted, the way I was moving, I even surprised myself. I was so at peace. I didn't even think to go shopping. I didn't even think to say, go get clothes for tomorrow. Like, it's not that I didn't even have money. Now that I even think about it, they're probably thinking about, like, even when they're telling other people the story, I know people are probably like, didn't she think to go buy clothes? Didn't she think to go? No, guys, I didn't. I promise you, I didn't. But I was so at peace. I don't understand how I was at peace when God stripped everything from me that I thought created my identity. You know what I mean? God stripped all of that from me. I didn't complain. I laughed through it all. For those of you that saw videos and pictures, like we're on the camel, I'm laughing. Friday comes, no suitcase. I'm still going with the flow. Not really feeling myself, right? You're not feeling yourself because you're not in your clothes. You're thinking of I had my clothes. But let me tell you, beginning of the year, I had prayed. I actually had this prayer last year. Is when I did the bold prayer. It was last year I did the bold prayer, maybe almost towards the end of the year and again beginning of the year. I asked God to really help me not lean on my own strength. Not lean on my own strength and lean on His strength. I prayed a lot that prayer. I mean, it was a bold prayer, but I prayed for many days, for many nights, just praying, God, please. Because I was tired of leaning on my own strength. It was exhausting. And then too, I found that leaning on my own strength sometimes took me astray, took me the wrong way. And sometimes my own strength was not the strength that was required in order for me to go through the challenges that I was going through. Sometimes what God required was for me to sit back and surrender, for Him to be able to help me move through the challenges that I was experiencing in life. You know, and 2024, I don't know about you, was rough for a lot of people, including myself. So that's why I had that bold prayer. Like, I no longer want to lean on my own strength. God, please step in. And let me tell you what, the way we know that God has a sense of humor, He sure did step in. He stepped in when I was in Morocco. Like, He stripped me of everything. Guys, He stripped me of everything. 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 I'm sitting here thinking about it. I'm sitting here just thinking about the whole experience. But there was so much joy. There was so much peace beyond my understanding. So much peace. Peace that I've never experienced before. So much protection and covering. I literally surrendered. I surrendered to God. And I just leaned in. I leaned in. I leaned in, you know. Best decision I could have ever done. Best decision I could have ever done. God stripped me of everything that I identified with, that created my identity. He took that away from me. Took it away from me. My toiletries, my clothes, the things that defined me, the things that when I put them on, I'm like, okay, here I am. I'm not saying that means God doesn't want us to put ourselves together, but I think it was too much. I think I relied too much on the external things, on my things to give me identity, and He stripped me of that. I didn't get my suitcase until Saturday. And I was leaving Monday evening. You might as well say I was leaving on Tuesday because I had the whole day, Sunday, Monday, 2 full days without my suitcase. Actually, it was 3 because it didn't come in till Saturday evening. Saturday evening. Without my suitcase. That would have never been me. That would have never been that Isabel. How? How am I going to walk around without the things that help me put me together, that give me identity? But the good Lord stripped that away from me. And I'm so grateful. I am so grateful. Let me tell you why I'm so grateful. I am so grateful because it's given me freedom. I feel liberated. I feel so liberated. It's given me a different type of strength, a different type of knowing, a different type of love for myself, a different type of understanding of who I am, my capacity, my capability. You know, it's given me, it's just it's a different experience. And I just hope for anybody that's listening to this, surrender. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever it is that you're holding on to, whatever it is that you think that God will not do the work for you, surrender. Surrender. Because when you allow God, the higher power, wherever you subscribe to intervene, and you not lean on your own strength, but rely on God's strength and trust in God. Can you imagine? You're in Morocco with no clothes. How? I had to surrender. But I had asked for that. That was my prayer. I no longer wanted to lean on my own strength. It about took me out in 2024. Just wanting to lean on my own strength. It was too much, right? It was exhausting, heavy, challenging. And I'm like, God, I don't want to do this. Enough. Enough. I need you. But he had to put me in a position where I didn't have a choice but to lean in. Lean in. Just by telling you guys this story, I can still feel the unwavering covering that I had all over me. I couldn't find it in me to complain. I didn't even care to complain, to be honest. But I was having so much fun being there celebrating that my clothes didn't mean anything. I almost feel like I'm about to shed a tear just thinking about the freedom that God has given me, the liberation of knowing that I'm enough just as I am. I always said, I've always preached it. I mean, I'm a coach. That's what I always preach. And I've always believed it. But it's just a different type of knowing that I have right now. It's a different type of feeling. Totally different type of feeling. Of surrender. You know, totally different type of feeling. It's powerful. It's comfortable. And I wanted to share this story with you because we all have our own challenges and we're all experiencing our own journeys. So everybody is seeking or is in need or desires something different. For me, I just desire to no longer just rely on my strength, you know? So I don't know what it is for you that you're going through right now, whether it's you need to let go or whether you need to lean in or whatever it is that you do that you need at this moment. I would just encourage you to really let it go and give it to the higher power. It's such a scary feeling, but I'm trying to tell you, it is the best thing you could ever do, especially for 2025. You know, a lot of people went through a roller coaster last year in 24. I mean, up and down, so many losses, so many deaths, people going through grief. There was just so much going on. And I just didn't want this year to be that for me. I didn't want 2025 to be that for me. I want this year to be the year that I truly walk in God's purpose. And the only way for me to do that was to really relinquish this thing of having the strength to do it all by myself. You know, I had to relinquish that. Having the strength to do it all by myself. Yeah. We gotta hold on, but also gotta let go. We gotta let go. So whatever it is that you have going on in your life in 2025, I hope you find the courage. I hope you can get to the space where you're vulnerable enough to just surrender, right? To God, to the higher power, whoever you subscribe to. Because without that, it becomes hard. Everything becomes 10 times harder, I think I see. And for me, being stripped of everything that I knew that identified me, that gave me the identity or the strength, being stripped of that, it's It's given me so much strength. just so much knowing. I'm really excited about this year to intentionally walk in God's purpose, to intentionally continue to do God's work, intentionally. Even from the time I've come back, I feel like I'm a totally different person, y'all. Totally different person. So what is it that you're holding on to that's giving you identity besides this yourself? Let it go. Ask yourself that. What is it that you're holding on to? What is it that can you do with that that's constantly bringing you down? That you feel you need in order to be loved, to be validated, or even to give you some form of identity? What is it in your life right now that you feel like you have something that has that stronghold? Because when you think about it, it's a stronghold. There's no way I would have survived that. There's no way. What is that stronghold that's keeping you stuck, maybe, from really walking into who you were supposed to be, from really walking into your purpose? What is that thing? What is that thing? For me, it was relying on my own strength, think that I could do it all. Until I got to a point where I couldn't rely on my own strength because the suitcase was outside of my control. There's nothing that I could do. Absolutely nothing. So what is it about you in your life right now that's keeping you stuck, that you keep holding on to? Whether it's things, whether it's people, situations, what is it that you need to let go of? That you no longer need to rely on your own strength and give it to the higher power, so you can be liberated from it and really discover the essence of who you are. What is it? You know? So I just want to encourage you to reflect, do some self-reflection, you know, or introspection, and find that out. What is it? It could be you having this idea that your life needs to be something that is not. So this is keeping you bound. It's keeping you depressed. It's keeping you not happy, that you can't even think to create anything new for your life because you're so stuck in, why is my life this way? It could be that. It could be you experiencing or resisting life. It could be you resisting life. There's so many things. There's so many layers that all of us go through. But I just want to empower you, like for this year, take the time to really do the introspection. Look within yourself and then also look around you. What is it that's holding me hostage? What is it that's keeping me trapped, that I don't feel free or liberated? What is it? You know? What is it that's keeping me bound, that I can't even connect with myself? That whisper inside of me where I say God speaks the loudest, I can't even hear that. What is it in your life? It's something. We all have something. I told you guys, for me, I was relying on my own strength in 2024. And it's like, I was like, God, I can't do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. I need you to intervene, because it was keeping me trapped. It was keeping me in this hold. And I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant for more. I know I'm meant for more, just like you are meant for more. But it was that stronghold, that idea that I had all the answers, that idea of keeping myself trapped in situations. I can handle situations, environments, until when I just did that bold prayer, I said, God, please, I don't want to no longer lean on my own strength. Please take over. Take over. And boy, oh boy, he took over. Not where I wanted him to take over. I mean, he could have done that on a Saturday, for crying out loud, something, but I'll take it. Because I feel liberated. I feel free. I have so much joy within me. I am excited about life. I'm excited about creating all these new chapters for myself. I'm excited about being authentic with myself. I'm excited about speaking my truths of how I'm feeling. I'm excited, I'm excited. And I hope that for you. I really do for 2025, although it's already acting a fool, but I hope that for you. 2025 is already acting crazy, but I do hope that for you. But the only way it's going to happen is for you to sit back and look at your life, good, bad, or indifferent. Look at your life, where you're at. I always tell people, change only happens with self-awareness. The moment you start becoming aware and say, oh, this is happening and this is happening, then from that space, you're able to make a change, right? From that space, you're able to make a change. Because I had to do that because nobody was coming to save me. Nobody was coming to say, well, let's look at your chart here. What is it that's going on with you? Why are you feeling stuck? Why are you feeling this way? Why? No, I had to look at myself and I was like, oh, okay. So I'm walking around here with this strength that I got this. I'll handle everything. No, it didn't work for me. I had to relinquish that and ask God really to help me not rely on my own strength, but to rely on His. Rely on His. So this is for you for this year. We're only in January, right? This is the first month. Forget New Year's resolutions. People do, I don't even do those. No New Year's resolutions, the last 2 or 3 days. Just give yourself time. Write it down. Journal in the morning. Just ask yourself. The only thing about it is that you're going to have to be honest with yourself. You can't sugarcoat it. You got to listen to your heart. To listen to what your heart wants. I know our minds are powerful. Our minds are tools. They're protectors. And, our minds can help us navigate things. But no, listen to your heart because your mind will never comprehend what your heart knows. And then sometimes what the mind will do. So, for instance, if you're sitting down and reflecting, right? You're like, okay, what's holding me back? And this is happening. Then you'll be like, you know what? I don't need to be around these people anymore. Or this person did this to me. This person hurt my feelings. These people hurt me. If your heart is saying that, listen to your heart, because let me tell you what your mind will do. My mind used to do this. I know well and good that somebody has hurt me. I know well and good that someone has hurt me, or this environment is not for me. Well and good. I know it. You know what my mind will do? My mind will start negotiating. Oh, Bella, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, Bella. Just stay. Oh, Bella, you know what? They're really not that bad. Oh, Bella, this, when deep down inside my heart is like, no, these people are not good. This environment is not good. This situation is not good. And especially me, a recovering people pleaser. So my mind loved me because I will negotiate. I'll write it down, put that story down. So I don't abandon anybody or neglect anyone. So make sure you pay attention to that when you're reflecting. Don't let your mind negotiate with you what your heart knows. Because you've heard it. What a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. The truth of who we are comes from the heart. Your truth is in your heart. It's in your heart. But we're in a society where when you talk about the heart, you talk about this, oh, it's too vulnerable, don't do this. That's where your strength is. That's the courage. That's where everything you need comes from. So take the time to do that. No one is coming to save you. I know you've heard this before. This is a new year. It's about being bold. It's really about being bold in your prayer, bold in faith, bold in how you show up, bold in the way you do things for yourself, bold in how you love, how deep you love, how you do for others. It's about being bold with your life, being bold. So I challenge you to be bold. Sit back and reflect. See what is holding you back. See what's no longer serving you. See what you need. Be bold. Find that power, the passion, that purpose. For me, I didn't get to the bold until when I had to relinquish my strength and ask the higher power, ask God. That was my bold prayer. And that bold prayer has brought me here today in a space where I'm in my own knowing, and I continue to excavate the things that I need to understand about myself, and I continue to unlearn the things that are no longer serving me and continue to learn. But most importantly, it's just trusting my heart and following my heart. Following my heart and really walking in God's purpose. And most importantly, just walking in my light, walking in my light. So what is it that you need to look at in your life that's keeping you stuck, that's not allowing you to make bold choices for yourself, to choose you, to no longer negotiate with your heart, to trust your heart, to have power, passion, purpose, and ultimately be the leader in your life? What is it? Let's be bold in 2025, in our faith, in our knowing, in our believing, in our showing up for ourselves. Let's just be bold. And that will look different for everybody else. Stay in your lane. Your journey is your journey. Your journey is different from mine. That doesn't mean my journey is better than yours. We're all on different paths. I just want to encourage you. Whatever path it is that you're on, be bold with it. This is your life. No one is coming to save you, and only you can live it. Only you can live it. Only you can live it. I hope you don't have to experience a Morocco experience like I did in order for you to find freedom and liberation and be bold. But sometimes that's what God does. God strips you. I hope through my story, you have the courage to be bold enough to step into your power, into your purpose, into your passion, right? To be the influence, to be the leader in your own life, and to find your leadership voice, that loud whisper, that still voice inside of you. I hope you can learn from my experience. I hope I could be an example for you about letting go and surrendering and asking God for that bold thing of who you want to become. And as you go through that experience, you have an understanding that this is the warfare. This is what I'm dealing with right now. This is God putting me through it. Okay? So take the time to do that this year. Really, you owe yourself that. You owe yourself that. Let's flow through the year. Let's really flow through this year. But I want to encourage you to take the time to do that for yourself. Check in with yourself. Check where you're at, your environment. Check how your heart and soul is, how your mind is in the environments that you're in, or environments that you create too, because you have to be responsible. You have to take accountability for the energy that you bring to spaces and the energy that you create, the life that you create. So just really looking at your whole life in totality. What do you want it to look like for you in 2025? But nobody's coming to save you. You have to be the one to take the bold step in order to create the life that you desire. That doesn't mean it's going to be perfect, but even through its challenges, the ebb and flows, it'll be a life that you have created, that you desire, that has challenges just like anything else. Okay? So I hope this will help somebody out there. Be bold in 2025. Choose you. Power, purpose. Be the leader in your own life. Tap into that loud whisper inside of you. That's your leadership voice. That's your voice that will guide you through the year authentically. That's the truth of who you are. I wish you all the best for 2025. Please continue to subscribe and make sure you join us every Wednesday. This is Loud Whisper Podcast. It's your healing space, your health and wellness podcast. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. Please be sure to share with your friends. Take good care of yourself. Until next time, don't forget to be bold and choose you. Bye-bye. Thank you for listening to the Loud Whisper Reignite Your Voice podcast. If you enjoyed today's show, please be sure to subscribe so that you never miss a conversation. I would also be honored if you would consider leaving a positive rating and review on Apple Podcasts. As always, you can connect with me through the links in the description. Thanks again for listening. We're so glad you could join us today and look forward to supporting you on your greatest journey. Have a great day.